Here we are, another week. The Holin None Podcast, minus one very famous forehead and famous voice.
It's
We no Shanky Watts this week.
it's dangerous. It's a dangerous proposition. We have to apologize for not doing our preview pod last week as well. All of us were pretty sick, and this week Mr. Shanky's off, wandering around the great city of Sydney with his partner and child. So it's just left to the two of us after the major, and I'm excited to do it without Shanky for a week. Let's see if we can keep the train on the tracks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. It's terrifying that we have the ability to record ourselves. So we'll just see what comes out of this. And yeah, no, it's and I mean, what a week! What a week to give us the reins.
I know. What a week to miss out. But I'm sure he's having fun where he is. But look, the golf was great. We're gonna chat about obviously the US Open. We're gonna chat about a couple of things about the players who didn't like the course. A little bit of chat about what's happening next week, and obviously the bets again. But first comes first. We played around of golf with the foursome back together again on Sunday. It's myself, Hayden, Shanky, and our mate Johnny Three Putts. Finally got back together. It's been a while since we played golf together.
Yeah, it was. It was and shout out to Shanky's partner Kirsten for looking after my young fella so I could play. Absolute hero in the golf world is babysitters. So
hero you needed.
Yeah, a hero we needed. And I mean, look, it was fun. We used to play every weekend, like a different course, and we sort of fell out of that because of whatever reasons. But it was so good to have the crew back together. Johnny Three Putts was back in force. He had a great round the other weekend we spoke about, and he was back out doing all kinds of weird stuff. But you know what? The thing I wanted to bring this up from is I played really well. You played really well.
That's right. I had to outshine you.
Absolutely. So Dan usually has me by two shots around.
Yeah,
It's probably 2 or 3, give or take.
Yeah.
I played really well and shot my course record at Nudgee, which is his home course. And Dan, you want to talk us through what did you do this weekend?
Well, I don't know how it happened, but I broke 80. I thought I was a few months away from breaking 80 yet. But in a Stableford comp, 44 points, took the win home for the boys, $60 in the kitty, and I hit a 78, and I honestly didn't know I was even on track for that until you probably saw the surprise on my face at the end when I came out of the bar with the beers, and I said, "Boys, I just broke 80."
Yeah.
After being sick as a dog for a week, I said before the round, there's no way I'm going to play good today. And maybe that's the secret is not trying to stripe your irons 110% every single shot, but being forced to hit 80% shots. Maybe that helped me because I think it was Shanky who said, you didn't look like you were going to miss hit a single shot today, and that's basically I had one double, I think it was 9 pars and a birdie, and the rest bogeys, and was putting the lights out. So I don't want to brag about myself too much, but it was a fun round as well. There was a lot less stress. Johnny Three Putts was playing the best and the worst golf that he could at the same time. Yeah. You were playing well, which typically me and you don't play well together, right? One of us plays good and the other one plays bad.
Yeah.
And Shanky had a bit of a day out too, a bit of a bad day out, sorry. So it was great. It was best round I've ever played by about 5 or 6 strokes, and I honestly didn't think I was close to breaking 80 anytime soon.
Yeah, no, it was great to see it because we tend to go through the same struggles on the golf course. Yeah. It's that real wave thing multiplied by 10. Sometimes you feel like you're invincible, and then you go through 2 months where you just want to put your club straight onto eBay. So no, it was really good. It was good to have the boys out. Shanky didn't play well, but he's always a big supporter of the boys. Best moment. By far, Shanky hitting my golf ball. He did not like that 2-stroke penalty, but it was all his own doing, and he can't defend himself. So you know what? That's his problem.
That's right. Balls, people.
So on behalf of the boys, well done, Daniel.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well done. US Open, major again. It feels like we're just sort of going major, elevated, major, elevated. Like I'm sure they will stop showing Mexico on TV eventually. So we're going to combine the stats and the quiz because we don't have Shanky, you can't really do a quiz against yourself.
No.
So we'll,
Yeah.
we'll save that for next weekend. I just wanted to ask you a few things because you're pretty good at guessing this kind of stuff. We're going to go 1 through toughest holes again this season. Toughest holes. LA Country Club, hole 17. So the second to last hole is par 4, 520 yards.
Yeah, long par 4.
Of all of the holes played this entire season, do you reckon it's in like top half, bottom half? What do you reckon it is?
Of hardest holes?
Hardest holes. Easiest is one of the Kapalua ones. Hardest is Oak Hill.
Okay, I would say it's definitely up. It's got to be up there, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to drag you out. It's third out of 200. No, sorry, I lied. Out of 700 holes.
Wow.
It is third, which is crazy. That's crazy. So toughest courses. Again, it features 39 courses this year. LA Country Club is number 2.
Really? Number two?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean,
after day one, when everyone was saying that it was the easiest course US Open have ever had, that's crazy to think.
And you got to ask your boy Ricky Fowler about that today. He took like what 4 steps backwards.
No.
So, but I sent you that picture from Ricky. What he said, he was quoted. I'll try and find it because I just think it was a beautiful quote to show the man what is in his frame of mind.
Oh, you mean before the round today?
Before the round today.
Yeah.
This is Ricky Fowler, and this is and you know that he is a happy loser. He said, "We have a chance tomorrow. I'm not scared to fail. I've dealt with that. We're just going to go have fun, continue to try and execute, leave it all out there, and see where we stand on 18."
Yeah.
That's the man. He
was in fourth, unfortunately.
was in fourth, but he
T5, whatever it was.
Yeah, but I think it was T5. But
it was T5 in the end, yeah.
He did, and he's lost a lot, and it's so good to see him playing good golf. And I think it's fair to say all of us wanted him to win that.
That was unfortunate. I put the other quote in that he said we'll talk about it a bit later when we talk about Wyndham, I guess. But no, it was hard. It was a hard watch for Ricky today. But I said that I hoped he played bad yesterday so that he could play well today. But unfortunately, he would have had to have played well both days. But no, it's What other stats have you got?
Yeah, cool. So just a couple of quick ones. So I'm just going to ask you this. See if you can pick one of the top 5. Strokes gained off the tee.
Rory.
Absolutely number 1. He was a beast. He was like 80% accuracy. Like, holy moly. Like, because usually he's been off.
Not off the tee. He's been all right. It's his wedges, right? It's all the short game stuff for him.
Yeah. So we've got Rory number 1, Wyndham Clark second.
Yeah.
This is a bit different. Like usually the guy that wins isn't that high up.
Yeah.
Heath Mitchell
was striping it though.
Heath Mitchell, big hitter.
Yeah.
Wyndham hits big pull fades, which is a man of my own heart. So well done. Scotty fourth and DJ 5. So those are some big hitters, right? So stroke gain has a lot of influence on distance. Approach the green. Pick one of the top 5.
Approach to green.
Approach the green. Strokes gained.
I mean, I'm gonna go with Ricky.
Absolutely not there.
Oh no. I guess today he would have fallen off, wouldn't he?
So I'll give you one more go.
I mean, Wyndham's the obvious choice.
Think about today. Think about today. No, not Wyndham.
Think about today. Oh, Cam Smith.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood. Oh.
So number 1 is Hideki Matsuyama, Tommy Fleetwood, Sebastian Munoz. Big fan of Sebastian's. Russell Henley and Tom Kim. So those are your top 5. So Tommy was a beast. I think he shot like 1 off the course record today.
Tommy went up 33 spots today.
Yes,
from
absolutely.
the end of play yesterday.
It's just one of those things. Like he'd be a great live player.
He shot a 63. He'd be a great live player. You're right.
That's why Shanky loves him so much. And then obviously strokes game putting. So top 5. Let's have
Wyndham.
one. You can't pick. Yeah, obviously.
Can't pick Wyndham. Obviously, it was going to be Wyndham. Yeah, well, it definitely wasn't Rory or Scotty. Cam Smith and Min Woo Lee both hit some long putts today.
Yeah, Cam Smith third.
Yeah.
So we've got Harris English, Patrick Cantlay, Cameron Smith, Wyndham Clark, and Ryato Nagano, the Japanese bloke. So yeah, well done. But yeah, look, Wyndham got there in 2 of the 3 stats. Approach green's quite interesting because he was hitting some nice high fades into greens, but he did not feature in the top 10. So
He had a couple of bad. He had a couple of no. He missed the green quite a lot, but he scrambled very, very
yeah,
well. Like
you're right. You're
I
right.
guess we'll talk about that soon, but yeah, his bogey saves and par saves were out of this world
Yeah, yeah,
today.
yeah. True. He did. He I guess now we can sort of move into the US Open.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
And I
let's
mean,
talk about the winner. Let's talk about Wyndham then. From while we're on him, I think we spoke about me and you actually agreed on this one when he won the what did he win the what was the last thing he won a couple of weeks ago, and me and you both said that we instantly were cheering for him, which I sort of do that with players. I either decide I like them or I don't like them pretty
yeah,
quickly. Wells Fargo is what he won.
yeah.
Um, and today, if I'm being honest, I was cheering for Rory after I knew that Ricky was out of it, which you got the feeling pretty quick. But
Ricky played
the
himself out of it pretty. Yeah,
yeah, he did,
yeah.
and I say it every week. I want players to go out there and get it, and Rory and Wyndham it was great. It was to and fro. Wyndham was in some bad spots. So when he had that
Mm,
ball on the par 5 stuck in the bush, and he had a complete whiff,
yeah.
completely missed it, and then chipped it well over the back of the green, and then did one of the all-time chips right next to the hole to save bogey. That could have easily been double bogey, if not triple, which means a playoff or a loss.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I agree with you today. I thought at about halfway through the round, through Rory's round, I was like, Rory's going to go out and get this.
So did
This
I.
this is when the cream rises to the top. But I'll tell you what, Wyndham Clark was like an ice man. He was unflappable. He he just played every hole. He went for par. He was just he salvaged everything he could.
Yep.
It was very
Even
impressive.
even after I think it was the par 3 15th, which is the shortest par 3 in US Open history. The only player to bogey that hole today was Wyndham Clark.
Mm,
The
mm,
only player to bogey that hole today was Wyndham Clark. Now that could have thrown him off the rails. He's then gone on a bogey at 16. He could have easily then what did you used to say about the 17th hole? It's the third hardest hole in the tour so far this year. He
yeah,
pars it and then he goes par to
yeah.
again keep his icy man of steel sort of thing going and
I
just
think the
take it
chip
away.
on the 17th was the one when he was to the left and he chipped it on and it was like
Yeah,
it was basically a gimme, and it was like he had no business making that chip, but what a beautiful
no.
shot.
Yeah,
Yep.
and even
So
the putt on 18, that was a long putt to leave that close to the hole. He had like it was a solid 50-foot putt
yeah,
over a big mound in the green, and the reaction afterwards. I mean, that was one of the I immediately I was cheering for Rory, like I said, to win, but as soon as I saw his reaction to holding that putt on the 18th, changed my mind completely. I loved it. He was
mm,
screaming. The way he held his caddy was like you could tell that was a big hug. He
yeah,
had his
yeah, yeah.
fists
It was back
clenched.
up.
He wouldn't let him go. He didn't even know what to do with his putter.
He
He's
carried that putter to the scoring tent.
the
He
scoring tent. I
carried
know.
he carried that putter for like 20 minutes.
That's all I could think of was, mate, someone take that
Uh,
putter off him, give
Take
him
the
a
putter
second
off him,
hand back.
young man.
But yeah, and that's what I want to say about Ricky. So Ricky's apparently, according to an inside source, on the when he sunk that hole, Ricky's got congratulated him. He said, "If your mum, if she had been here, she'd have been very proud of you."
Yeah.
So again, a gracious loser. And Ricky was well out of it by that point. He could have easily just walked off and had a sook.
So
But he's
they're actually very good friends. The coverage obviously told us all about this today, but they play at
mm,
Medalist together, and so I think it's that. I mean, what a cool place to win with one of your best mates with you, kind of
yeah,
thing. I think it was
yeah.
fantastic.
And his family
Uh,
was there this time,
yeah, yeah, I mean, that was nice.
which they weren't last time. We spoke about that last week.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, just it's one of those ones where it's like, do you bring them or not? Obviously, if you're Tony Finau, you bring everybody, but um, so yeah, I mean, the disappointment of Rory, I think Rory will be a little bit gutted. There
Mm,
was so much opportunity. His approach game is look shit. He
yeah,
cannot hit. He cannot get close. And where he struggles in the approach game, Scotty, watching Scotty trying to track this leader down. Scotty knew what he had to do. Could you see the
Yeah.
frustration? It was like watching Usain Bolt, except he forgot to put shoelaces in his shoes, and his shoes kept falling off. And he knew that he was the fastest one out there, and he knew that he could win, and he would just miss and miss and miss, and
there were some bad misses, man. Some of those putts were just like, I was like, I'm sorry, what? And you could see it on his face, like you said. He looked at himself like, what did I just do? Him and DJ today, they were both, and Rory even, just missing. Like Rory went 12 pars in a row, just hanging on. And you're right. And one more thing about Wyndham before we leave, I saw one of the all-time calls by Mr. Shanky Watt saying Wyndham's going to miss the cut. He must have been listening because he wasn't having any of that.
Wyndham's a subscriber, so I know that he's. I think Shanky probably owes Wyndham an apology. We'll hold him accountable next week. Put that in the notes.
Well, and I'll take my licks here too. I did say Fleetwood was going to miss the cut. He did make it on the shot. He made it on the number, and he's come out and got T5. So I don't know how that happened.
Beautiful round today by Tommy. He was a weapon, and I think he kind of. It was weird because he was the only one that did it. Maybe today. He came out and just like shot the lights out, and everybody else kind of just.
He went up a lot. Minwoo Lee had a 67, like a really good. I think Cam Smith had like the best back nine of anybody this week today.
Cam was outrageous today.
Rahm and Ekrot both moved up 28 places today. So there was a bit of like good golf out there.
Sorry, did you see Harris English's first shot today? He power sliced the ball. So he was paired with DJ, right? So DJ pumps one down the middle. Like if Harris English power slices the ball between two grandstands, and there's like a little like a food and beverage area where there's like like barrels where you can sit around, have a glass of wine, and talk. It landed in there. It almost killed someone. So like I went away and I didn't see how he got out, but I can only assume he had to chip sideways back into the golf course. I don't even know if it was a penalty, but like it was a shocking shot.
Actually, shout out to Rory as well for with a tee shot on. I think it might have been 17, where he did such a bad hook that it was literally on the next fairway. Yeah, so it's really giving you really good flavors of us on the weekend.
And he did hit the green.
He hit the green, but they said that like Bryson played it that way on purpose. So it's a tactic, but it definitely wasn't what Rory was trying to do. But look, I think. Yeah, on Wyndham and Rory, it was a great battle. I think there were some guys out there that did really good stuff today, but overshadowed completely by those two. And I don't know, Rory's got to win one soon, right?
Yeah. Look, Rory listened to me when I sprayed him and said he was, he's back. It's good. Yeah. He looks strong. He looks ready to roll. I'm not sure what happened today. I feel like he had the opportunity to go out there and get that.
Just one shot. He just needed one more shot.
Yeah.
That bogey on that par 5.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I've just noticed, actually? I've just noticed. So this is Rory's scores for the week, right? 65, 67, 69, 70. This is Wyndham's. So instead of 65, he got 64, then 67, 69, 70. So they scored the exact same every single day, except for day one, where Wyndham scored at one better stroke than him. That's in 4 days of golf. One stroke on the first day is what won Wyndham the US Open.
Yeah, 100%. See, in Liv, it would have been a playoff.
No, it wouldn't have been. He still would have won by one.
He still would have won by one shot. Yeah, okay. So it's the same. It doesn't matter.
Just exciting golf. But that's on that as well. Like, I don't know how you feel, but like for me, that drama's sort of completely wrapped up. Like I saw Cam Smith playing well, DJ playing well, and it was the first major that I feel like no one cared about any of that stuff anymore. There's always talk about a live golfer's doing this, a live golfer's doing that. There wasn't a single word of that. The coverage was showing all the golfers without prejudice as well.
100%. What I was going to say.
Yeah. It was good. This is where golf. Maybe live was a necessary evil, and this is where golf is going to be, because I really enjoyed this.
I think there's going to be a lot that comes out of it, but I agree with you. I noticed that there was a lot of Phil Mickelson on day one, and I was like, I can't believe this bloke, So they showed a little bit of him in the Masters and, the PGA Championship, but I agree with you. It definitely did. Lots of Sergio, and these guys weren't getting any airtime. So
it's like a weight off their shoulders now.
Sebastian Munoz. Like Munoz played really well today, and he got a lot of airtime too. So, and he's sort of like that second tier golfer. No offense, but but he's obviously a good player. And Joaquin Neiman too. Obviously got lots of
He did, yeah, and he had a nice shirt on today too.
He did. You know,
The
had the nicest shirt, Xander.
who? Yeah, no, maybe I'm thinking of Xander. Yeah, Xander's
Yeah.
no. Joaquin had a really good shirt on the third day. Sorry.
It was a similar kind of
Yeah,
shirt, right? Like
yeah,
a
it
really
was green
crazy
and
Hawaiian
bluey.
shirt. Yeah. So bold.
One shout out for me from down the leaderboard, Minwoo Lee with like just an absolute great showing for him since the players. Minwoo Lee getting T5 today.
Yeah.
That's a huge result for the young Aussie.
I know Shanky's a big supporter of Minwoo's.
Yeah, I think we all are. Like we all like. I mean, there's two Aussies in the top 5, right? Like that's great for Australian golf.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of big names underneath those guys too, which is great. Rahm probably T10 for anyone else. That's a great week for Rahm. Maybe that's a little bit of an underperformance. What do you think?
I feel like Ram has been a bit off a bit, and I think he's coming back. This is probably going to set him on the right trajectory. And you know what? If I could probably pick someone to win like the FedEx Cup or something, it'll be him. I think he'll roll through those events and just mop everybody up. I feel like he's ramping back up again. He just had a little bit of a moment. Unless Scotty can fix that putter. So
Xander's gone from breaking course records to breaking his own spirit. 62 on the first day, then couldn't get under 70 the next 3 days in a row.
Yeah,
It's a tough watch. And then DJ was, DJ's a T10, and watching him today, like same with Scotty, he could have easily been a -6, -7. He wouldn't have won, like Scotty probably could have, but DJ could have been a T3 if
lots
you
of
look at
very
his
close
score.
putts for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he knew it too. You could tell that he was just like, man, on another day.
Yeah.
But the US Open is built for players like DJ, right?
Yeah.
I think DJ could not play golf for 365 days and come back and finish top 10 next year's US Open. It's just built for guys like him. So speaking of that, I did mention to you, I think on day one, and I figured out why I said this. I said to you and Simon, I said, I think the course looks messy.
Yeah.
I think that the fescue looks overgrown, and and what they actually did, and I think they got a lot of feedback. They changed the camera angles. They actually changed the way they were broadcasting the golf course, because today it looked fantastic.
Yeah.
So that was from like an aesthetic point of view, and obviously you said you quite liked it. And when they changed the way they filmed it, I quite like it too. In the end of it,
the reason that I liked it was that it was ugly, but for me it was like it was ugly where it's supposed to be ugly. So where you don't want your ball is where it looked ugly. So it's like, I couldn't imagine like Wyndham Clark today trying to hit the ball out of that thing. I think was it Scotty or somebody went to do a chip shot out of the rough, went completely under the ball. Another shout out to us, right? Completely whiffed on the ball. Harris English today tried to chop it out of the rough, got his club stuck in the ground, completely missed the ball.
Yeah.
His birdie chip in turned into a par chip in.
Yeah.
So that's what I loved about it. It was ugly, some of it, but it was kind of like, that's why it's ugly, It's not just long, perfect grass.
Yeah, exactly. And so leading that into, there's been quite a few players, and it's not just the usual. Like there's a couple of usual whiners. Like there's the Brysons and the Brooksies that don't like the course. They don't like it. Bryson was quoted saying, I feel like I'm on a links course. I might as well be playing the Open. Brooks doesn't like Brooksy, and the other one who really surprised me, Matt Fitzpatrick, really big critic. Both of them really don't like the blind tee shots, because there was quite a few of them. And the other one is Victor Hovland, nice guy, part of the nice guy squad, really not liking the golf course.
When I think about that, especially for Fitzpatrick and Hovland, I think that they're probably real like visual golfers. They have to visualize what they're about to do. So having a blind tee shot is probably like, I've done that before when I went on my trip down to Melbourne. A couple of the holes, you're just looking at a cliff face and you have to hit over it. You got no idea where it's supposed to go. And it is very hard to do, especially if you haven't played there before. But all three of those guys, Brooks, Matt, and Victor, all top 20. So they're complaining about it, sure, but they still come out and had a good showing, I guess. Even, and then 2 negative ones. Who was the other one? Bryson. I mean, Bryson played well too. Plus one, top T20 as well.
Yeah, Bryson played really well. Actually, he surprised me. He was like fourth or third in the first day, maybe. So
he's turning around as well from the last few years. Like,
I can't
Uh,
remember if it was you or Simon I was talking to you about Bryson particularly. Change of caddy. And I think was it you that I was speaking
it was
to?
me, yeah. You
Yeah,
were
yeah,
talking
and
about
just like
JT and
so,
Bones.
JT, and so you got JT and Bones, and like JT won something with Bones, like the PGA Championship, I think, and there's progressively gone downhill. Bones is one of the best caddies, renowned ever, and JT is obviously JT. I feel like that's not working. And then Bryson had Ziegler, who's one of his mates, got rid of him, and as soon as he's changed caddy, he's like completely changed around, and the old Bryson's almost back.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, these relationships. There's probably a lot more to it, but just like those are
There
two
has to
leaders.
be with JT, right? There has to be something else to it because he's
Mm,
playing so bad that he could just be he could be anybody and it doesn't matter because he's not doing anything good at the moment.
I feel like JT's one of those situations where it's like, oh, 1 + 1 = 4, but the wind is that, and the wind is that,
Yeah.
and it's wet and it's damp, and it's humid, so therefore it's a 7. It's like, no, 1 + 1 is still 2.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
but I
I
feel like
agree.
he's just like he's making golf hard. Golf's fucking hard, man. But like, I feel like JT looks like he's making it way too hard, and he's not enjoying it.
So maybe you reckon maybe he needs someone just to tell him to shut up and hit the 7, or shut up and hit the 6, or whatever it
I
might
think
be.
so. I think so. I think I think he's just got too much going on. I don't know,
Mm.
but he's a couple of, like I said, he's very close to getting a Rory spray, and that'll bring him back. So
Well, yeah, I mean they brought Rory back. He almost won a major. Um, Look, yeah. Apart from that, the leaderboard looks pretty much as you would have expected it. A couple of notable cuts though. Max Homer, the hometown hero, got cut.
he had a
Spieth,
shocking round. The second
yeah.
day, it was appalling, like absolutely
Uh,
appalling.
Spieth got cut, but you know who I wasn't expecting to get cut was Justin Rose.
Mm,
The
yeah.
way that he's been playing with his his effort around the greens and all that, I would have thought he was a shoo-in to make it.
The interesting on Justin Rose, he got so much airtime on the second day because he was paired with Ricky, and Ricky
Yeah,
was killing it, and you could just see Justin. He was fighting for that cut position for like 8 holes, and they broadcast every single shot of him just trying to make the cut, and he failed. He got
do,
so much airtime.
do you know how bad Justin Thomas actually played? Without looking, I don't know if you already know this. Where do you think Justin Thomas came out of everybody?
Oh man, what was the big? How big was the field?
I don't know because it just
150.
says cut. Yeah,
Oh,
this is it.
I don't know because I didn't really
Let
see
me
it.
tell you this: you can count from the bottom on one hand how close he was to the bottom.
Oh Jesus,
He came
just
fourth last with a plus 14. He hit 81 on the second day.
well.
81.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like
There's
something's going on there.
only one person in the field had a worse day than he did this week, and that was the guy who came dead last, hit at 83. That's something's wrong. Something's got to be wrong there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know what's going on there. It's something's crazy wrong.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's not great. Well, I think anything else for you on the leaderboard there that caught your eye?
I'm just gonna spread noticeable cuts. Keegan Bradley quite low. Who else is popping
Another
out?
bad one. That was Simon's
Yeah,
T5. He almost had
Max.
everything back to front, didn't he, old Shanky?
Yeah,
Keegan
Shinky
Bradley is a
Shinky had a bit of a miss this weekend, unfortunately.
yeah,
Just trying to see who else pops out there. Victor Perez, he's been playing really well. He's
yeah,
crap. Joel Damon. Oh man, he
yeah.
gave up.
Adam Scott, Jason Day,
Yeah,
two
so this
Aussies.
I mean, in a field that's good, um,
Mm,
you're gonna get some like to get Jordan and Justin both missing the cut. It's quite interesting. So that would have been
yeah.
it would have been a shitty flight home on their private jet.
I would have yeah, I would have thought Adam Scott would have done better too. I was expecting more out of him. But Jay Day, I sort of we don't expect anything from him for the rest of the year.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was another one. And Cam Davis too. He had a good showing recently, so to be 11 over,
Hmm,
yeah, look,
yeah.
not great. But let's jump over to the bets quickly from last week,
Cool.
round those out. So mine aren't going to take too long because I lost every single one of them. So I'm $60 down, which puts me at negative 149. So I'm going to have to start getting my stuff into shape because it's been pretty bad. Shanky had a win with his boy Fleetwood. He's got 2 wins in a row, 2 weekends back to back with Mr. Fleetwood for a T5. So being just about to miss the cut to T5, he won $85 off that. So Simon is back into the positive at $9.80 now because he lost the rest of his bets.
Hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, so he's actually winning the leaderboard at the moment. And then
Nice.
yourself, you had 2 of your bets come through. You had Scotty at T5,
Yeah.
But quite an impressive one. Your T40, 30, 20, Bryson, DJ, Cam, Smith, respectively, came through at 653. So you've gone from 2 weeks ago, you were negative 110.
Mm,
Now you're negative $22. So, and that's while
cool.
spending too. So you're actually on track, which is great. So this week we've decided we've got the Travelers coming up, which we'll have a quick chat about shortly. We're going to keep it simple. With Shanky, we'll get his bets come through over the chat. We'll enter them in. So we don't know what his ones are. We're just going to assume all three of them are going to be Fleetwood. But in the meantime, we've got T5, T20, and we're going to go with top European player. So I'll let you kick us off if you like.
Yeah, cool. Well, it is the Travelers, so we're going to get some Travelers. The Europeans flew over for this. That's my theory. Good segue. Well done, me. Top five. I'm going to go with your boy Pat Cantlay. I think he's going to take his time and
Definitely.
secure a top five in there quite nicely. Top 20. I'm going to throw in your boy, and I think he's very disappointed, but he's a very good player, Keegan Bradley.
KB.
KB. I think KB is going to be there with his little weird bendy knee driver action. And I've written down a name.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to change it.
Okay. Hold on, it's blurry. Go back a little bit.
Fleetwood.
What? You wrote down Fleetwood. Yeah, we'll leave that for Shanky.
Yeah, we'll leave that for Shanky. I'm going to go Matt Fitz.
Yeah, Fitzy. I like it.
Yeah, Matt Fitz.
And what's the logic there?
I felt like if you're going to be a grumpy whinger about the US Open, you're going to have to back it up.
Show out.
So yeah, like show up.
Awesome.
So.
All right. Well, with mine, I'm sort of licking my wounds a bit. I need to get some wins here, so I'm going to take the easy route for two of the three bets, which is going to be a bit of a cop out. But I think he's got to be due for something. He's got to warm up. I'm going to go T5 Rahm and top European Rahm. So very, very, very safe for me, but I need the win. So we'll see how we go there. But T20, someone who's been impressing me every time I see him play, and he's always there or thereabouts. I'm going to go with Tom Kim.
Oh yeah, good bet. I like that.
Yeah, I like that. I think that he was there or thereabouts this week. Every week he plays, he seems to be floating around there. He could come out and win one of these weeks, and nobody would it wouldn't be a surprise to anyone, I don't think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get Shanky's bets off him when we can. But I guess on
just
the back,
put Tommy Fleetwood down as his top European.
Just put Fleetwood as well. Yeah, let's do it. Fleetwood, top five as well. Why not? The one thing that we were going to chat about is the Travelers as well. So, what are your thoughts on going from a straight back into another elevated event?
I feel like I need a week off.
Yeah. Like we need a week off from watching golf. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah. I've watched so much US Open. It was fantastic. I need a week off. I don't want to go.
Yeah. You know what I would love this week? I would love to watch a 6 out of 10 very solid DP World Tour event this weekend.
I'd love to watch Live Golf Adelaide.
No, that's too. I'm just talking like, one or two, three maybe big names, like another sort of not Canadian, even Canadian Open was too emotional. Another Mexico Open maybe, just something. Yeah. Just read the room a little bit. There's a bit of golf fatigue from the viewers. I can only imagine what the players are feeling like, especially the ones who just missed out or were a bit frustrated from this week. It can go one of two ways. I think they'll either come out and absolutely blast a much easier course, or they'll come out with just epic fatigue and just absolutely shit the bed.
Yeah. You get another Danny McCarthy winning.
Yeah, it could definitely be a week for a nobody, something that wasn't out last week. But yeah, like I said, I wouldn't mind just watching something cruisy, something I can tune in and out of and really not care. But at least, we need content for the pod, so it's not the worst thing ever, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. But a lot of elevated events, and then I think we've got the Open like only a couple weeks after that, I'm pretty sure too. So it's not, we don't really get a break until after that.
And then I think you sort of heads into the FedEx Cup stuff, so it doesn't really stop.
Yeah. Oh, well, so you've got the Rocket Mortgage, then the John Deere Classic is really the week off. But I think that's when they start doing like the Scottish Open and the Irish Open, which we've always enjoyed watching. So
yes, really enjoy that stuff.
a bit coming up for us to watch, but I'm sure we'll manage to get through somehow.
Yeah, exactly. Rightio. Well, let's hold out on some stuff and then we'll wind it up.
Yeah, wrap it up for the week. All right. Well, what do you? Oh, I think I went first the last 2 weeks. So what are you holding out on this week?
I'm holding out on some good stuff, a bit of home cooking. I really enjoy it. I've been my new role and my new job. I've been working from home a fair bit, so I have the time to sort of go and prepare and cook good home cooked meals. And it's not that whole, rock home and try and like throw something together with the kids crazy and whatever. I can actually prepare a nice meal. Tonight I did a nice ribeye and some homemade like homemade potato, like French fries chips in the
Yeah.
air fryer with like salt, pepper, garlic all on them, and they're beautiful. Just I'm really holding out on that. It's really nice to my wife comes home, dinner's half cooked, kids are all ready to roll. It's real lifestyle stuff. So yeah, home
Do
cooking.
you do you find that you can eat a bit healthier and you can it's a bit like you said you're not just coming home ravenously hungry trying to smash dinner down as well?
Yeah, I mean, like I can like because I'm home, like I'll just go home. I go on my lunch break. I'll pop down to Coles, buy a nice salad, buy some chili, buy some chicken, and make like a spicy chicken salad for dinner or something. Like it's you can kind of be a bit more
Yeah.
inventive and you feel better about yourself doing it because it
Yeah.
tastes better. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's my feeling.
Awesome. Love it. I've been doing that for a while. I love a bit of home cooking.
Hmm.
This week I'm holding out on the two things. First thing is, so I was sick all week last week. Friday comes around, I wake up early and I couldn't face the day. I was so sick. Had to drop the kid at school, so I dropped him off at school. I just texted my boss and said, "Hey mate, I've got the aches, I'm sore. I just need the day off." And he just said, "That's fine." As soon as I got that text, I went straight back to bed. And I did something that I haven't done in probably 7 or 8 years. I slept until 11:30 in the morning
Mm.
and I woke up absolutely delirious. Didn't know where I was, didn't know what time of day it was, and I had to scoot out to get me and yourself actually some golf balls. So shout out to Lost Golf Balls out of Nogra. That's where Mr. Hightees and myself get our balls that we play with.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that was the first thing. So just when you're sick, just taking the day to just get it right,
Yeah.
and then I was able to go out and shoot a 78 on the weekend. So I attribute a lot of that to that.
Mm.
And the
I,
second
I
thing
do remember
is,
you on the fourth hole, by the way, being like puffing, losing your breath, being like,
yeah,
it's hard to walk.
yeah, and I was doing a lot of breathing. I was like, I need to just go to my ball and just, and it worked. So there's something taking your time and concentrating in this golf game. Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
yeah. Justin, you can tell
Um,
Justin Thomas a few things. Anyway, as you were.
yeah, he's obviously not thinking enough. And secondly, talking to strangers is something that I haven't done for a long time. But I was at the gym the other day. I needed someone to come spot me, so I just asked a random dude in the gym to come spot me. We ended up having a solid 20-minute chat just about life and what our goals are and things like that. And I left that conversation feeling great. And now every time I see him, you get a quick fist bump on the way past. So shout out to just talking to random strangers and being a nice person, and helping
Cool.
helping other people out. Yeah.
Did you get a name?
No idea what his name is, and you know what? I don't want to know what his name is, and I
You
don't
don't
think
want
I
to
ever
know.
will.
Gym
You don't
guy.
want to know. I just know that he's the
That's
guy
fine.
that spotted me that one time, and we could do a bit more of that in the world, especially when you're working from home all the time.
Get him on the pod.
That's right. All right. Well,
All
that's
right.
us for the week. We'll see you back next Monday with a full strength team, and yeah, enjoy the week.
Yeah, cool. Let's go, travelers.